Welcome back to AI War Fleet Command, Zenith Remnant game, 7.3 normal difficulty, and we are in Willie Tomg as we start the true approach to the end game here, firmly in that mode. And this is a couple systems closer than Minerva to one of the AI wormholes. It's also got an advanced starship constructor, so that's why we're here. It's a bit more complicated than our last two, but this still should go pretty quick. It's got a... oh, that's the advanced starship constructor. There it is. There's the threatening eye. I don't want to tick that off, so I'm using a Golems only attack here. I want to take out all the other guard posts. Then the threatening eye will dissipate. I can release my ships if I need to and hammer that barracks. So the usual retreat to the edge. We're going to let the artillery golem do that lovely thing that it does. And I imagine fairly quickly here, we're going to run out of issues. Now, metal is fine. I've also started distributing the Mark 1 and Mark 2 munitions boosters out to various planets. And getting the Mark 5 ones back. Pause that while I'm in here. So I'm starting to do some logistical things to get to the end of the struggle. And let's see. Missile guard post is still around. Oh, we've got an astro train too. So let's just hold off. You know what? Why don't you make that thing die, please? Thank you. Oh my. Calypso isn't very happy with us. There we go. I think that's going to do it for the threatening eye. Let me double check. It will. And we're probably okay against all this stuff anyway. But you know what? Let's unload our standard ships here. Just to make sure we can handle all this fun. Yep. Vampire claws versus vampire claws. That's kind of funny. Boy, they're sending more in. They're really not happy. Calypso is really not happy. Not just a little bit not happy. And I could just pop the barracks here. I just want to wait till we clean all this up. Yep, here comes some more reinforcements. They're going to come over. Alright, I think that's enough. There they go. Variety of different things. Verticular cutlasses leading the way. We got fighters, we got frigates. Yep, none of their melee ships even quite getting into range. There we go. Now they got off a couple shots. We have Willie Tomg under control. Oh, another wave decided to hit Iapetus. We'll be fine with that. Threats, moderate, not too bad at the moment. And interestingly enough, the Devour Golem is over here on one of the AI core worlds. Now, we found something right next to that in Dagobah. The wonderful Superterminal. And this thing is sort of the mother of all hacks. If you capture the planet, the Superterminal will, every few seconds, lower your AI progress by 1, increase the floor by 0.2, and you can see it's actually higher amounts on the higher difficulties. Now, it'll constantly be spawning ships somewhere in this system. You only want to let it run for so long. You have to destroy it, or else AI progress will go negative. AI progress goes negative. An insane amount of ships are going to pour out of this. Now, you have to be able to destroy it before that happens. You have to be sure you're ready for what's going to go on. Now, I've thought about different ways, like, do I want to take the homeworld first? And I'd literally like to lower AI progress as much as I can, since I have the opportunity before that. But that means routing through Despina. I can't get there without activating one of their core worlds, and I'm sure as heck don't want to activate this one. Whole point of going this route is to only go through here. So I want to make that the last world I take. I'm going to go through Despina, take Dagobah, and then turn around and do this attack as quickly as possible. So that is going to need to happen, but I can't really get there from here. It's too far away. So my next target here is Bespin. Not because I particularly like Bespin, not because I'm a huge fan of the Infiltrator Mark V, because I'm not. Not going to help us with the homeworlds because they're good at being cloaked, but the homeworlds have permanent tachyon coverage. However, it's 4 jumps from Minerva, another 4 from Dagobah. So it's going to help us bridge that gap, so to speak. It's taken a while to get everything in place here because there's some parts of the galaxy I just had to power through with golems, and the artillery golem is quite slow. So the path there, the path back, all of that took some doing. Bespin is up and running. There wasn't anything particularly interesting about that fight at all. We've seen it many, many times before. In Laetitia, here's what I've left behind. I've got all of this, which, you know, over 1,000 ships. I've got all of the resistance frigates and the fighter bombers, and one of the reasons for that is I can't transport them. Otherwise, they would have had to fly and fight through the enemy systems. I've also got the botnet golem here, because the Superterminal mostly produces zombie bots that you can't reclaim. So it wouldn't have been as useful there. And this is defending here. Any ships that come in here, it's been taking them over and sending them out to neighboring systems to attack. So it's basically playing quarterback here in a defensive situation. And then over here in Bespin, I've massed everything else. There's over 1,000 ships in these transports. I put 3 different colony ships in them, so we can make sure that hopefully at least one of them survives. And as far as the golems, we've got both regen golems, Hive, Cursed, Black Widow, Artillery, the whole 9 yards. Now, basically what I plan to do with this is I want to power through here, get to Dagobah, hack the Superterminal. Now, if we look at our path here, Varda, nothing too tough. Ursula, not a big deal. I'll probably take out that train station. Then, of course, getting into Despina, they're going to spawn some strategic reserve as soon as I get into the system. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to need to be ready to get out quickly if necessary. This attack here is getting wiped out, by the way. That's just cutlasses. But they've got an orbital mass driver. Thankfully, it's not shielded. It's right by the entrance to the one and only T. I'm going to want to take that out eventually. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the artillery golem fire at it real quick once it gets in the system. It shouldn't be able to get off too many shots. Shouldn't be enough to destroy anything. I want to get through there as quickly as I can for obvious reasons, and then get into Dagobah. And if I have to unload some of my transports in here and sort of sacrifice those ships to fight that off, then that's what I'll do. That's why I'm taking everything, just in case interesting things happen. So when I get to Despina is when I expect things to get fun, as they say. Turned out to be a couple of quick hops here. I've even wiped out the wormhole guard post in Ursula, jumped to Despina here. So it only took a few minutes, and now we're ready to see what happens. Okay, 2 things I want to do right away. Yeah, we're already in a bit of trouble. So I want to take this artillery golem and wipe out orbital mass driver. And then I also want to get the Hive golem unloaded. And I want to send the transports through to Dagobah. Get as many of their ships to the outside as I can. And I'll just have the golems wait in here for a bit. There we go. And now the artillery golem has fired. So let's see if I can get all of these into Dagobah as well. And the idea is that all the wasps from the hive golem, hopefully they'll distract all the strategic reserve that's flowing around long enough for us to get all this done. Okay, we got all the transports out. Oh, there's our scout. And now, oh, they're actually all still alive. In here, let's see, what's in this? It's an MLRS. And this is, it's a missile guard post. That, I think, is as good as anything, right down there. Wow, well, we got most of the way there. Okay, now all of you come down here also. And I just want them to sort of, yeah, okay, all of you unload. Well, not all of you, not the colony ship ones. And I want all of these to just fight off whatever they can. Let's see how our golems are doing. Looks like we're about to lose the curse golem, but the regen should pick that back up. And the hive golem, for some reason, doesn't appear to be coming. But yeah, all of our wasps appear to have this under control, which is great. Yeah, there we go. And so now they don't have that many reinforcements to get. I think we're actually going to survive all the golems. And why is AI 2 deploying strategic reserve? We don't have anything on their planet. Yeah, it would only be here, their homeworld, and this is their only core world. This is not a core world, unless they're deploying strategic reserve to defend the Superterminal. I didn't think that was a thing. Okay, in any case, let's get all of you over here, and then we'll sort this out. And I think... yeah, the regen golems are pretty healthy, so I didn't actually lose anything huge. And now we should be able to... everybody get back over here. We should be able to just hang out over in this corner and wait for the artillery golem to blow everything up. Okay, now as soon as I capture it, this thing's going to go nutso. So where do I want to... I don't see any benefit to building over here as opposed to like down there. I think I want to build there. And then by all means get all my ships in place. Usual thing, golems in the back, ships in front. And then see what happens. And I want to try to build turrets pretty quick too. Okay, here we go. Command station at 70%. Golems over here. I've got almost 1,000 ships. Boom. Will spawn 2 strength when it dies. They're rapidly spawning. And we're at 437 right now. We got to watch the affected or the current AI progress compared to the floor. And here's some of them spawning. When the AI progress gets close to the floor, that's when I want to knock it out. Now this is in place. So what I want to do is get force fields up and build a couple of them. And then we've got the new Mark III engineers, which I unlocked. And I want to auto-build, let's say 20 of them in here, because I want to be able to build stuff super, super fast. And okay, let's see how this goes. There we go. Terminal going downwards. Progress floor going up. Quite a big gap between them. Okay, why don't all of you just sort of float over here? The Superterminal has experienced a power surge. How lovely. Expand 54 strength when it dies. Okay, it's only going down a little bit. How are we doing over here? Okay, what do we have? 200 ships. 431. We're okay so far, but I definitely want spawn 219 strength when it dies. Yeah, these are not up yet. I want to wait for the shields to get up, then start building turrets. I need everything I can get to help out with this. And they're helping. I do have my... Yeah, I have that set high enough for it to repair the golems. That's key. The cursed golem's up to 22%. It was down at like 10. 600 ships or so in place. Okay, shields are about ready. Well, not quite. Boy, that's a lot of them. We're still fine, but I don't know for how much longer. How are these regen golems doing? Okay, they're fine, so we're not losing that much yet. I've got the energy. I'm going to just totally max this out, see what happens. I'm hoping the fleet can hold them off until I get turrets in place, and that'll help hold things back even more. For now, I'm just going to worry about this direction. And let's do... Okay, let's have it all build. Let's see what happens. It's possible I could have a great success here. It's also possible I could lose every freaking turret I have. Every golem. All depends on whether I've got enough. Golems starting to, regen golems rather starting to lose. They're... down to 94%. They're still not having to replace that much. There we go. I've got pretty much everything up. Yep, hang on just a second here. I lowered the performance from very high to average because it's definitely starting to stutter. I feel like it's at least slowed that down now. Good grief. Almost 2,000. Yeah, they're now just unloading carriers on us. We'll spawn 3,000 strength when it dies. We're down to 401. Floor of... Boy, I'd like to get lower than that. Regen Golem still at 81%. Feel that we're okay for the moment, but it's going to get iffy. Yep. Golem's now shrinking, 73%. Yeah, and even on average, you can see, like, just the performance slow down. Good grief. Yeah, it's up to about 3,000 ships. Boy, I don't think I can let it go too much more. 12,000 strength when it dies. We've lowered our AI progress by about 50. We could go a lot further, but I don't want to lose this. It's going to generate a bunch of... Yeah, the regen golems are down to about 50%. It's going to generate a bunch more threat when it dies. I don't want to lose a bunch of my golems. I'm going to go with it now. And I'm just going to hit it again just to make sure. Come on, die. Quick generating carriers, die. There it goes. Boom. Oh my, there's almost 8,000 ships in here. The question is, can we kill them all? That is now the question. Because now we're not going to generate any more. Good grief, this is a mess. And I think to properly do this, I'd have to use warheads. Like, I'd have to stagger time a lot of warheads. Look at it, we're burning through all of our metal. And yeah, our golems can't you know, bring anything else back. So now we're losing ships. But they're down to 4,000. I think I stopped it at about the right time, and we knocked out what, something like 70. I think we lost like 60, 70 AI progress in here. Boy, was it costly. Even more costly than I thought. This thing is insane. Okay, under 3,000. Look at that mass of nonsense. You can make this thing a lot worse, too. If you make it go negative, it'll, like, pump out millions of threat or something stupid. And eventually, the frame rate will return to normal. Yeah, okay, now they're giving up. How many are we going to kill, and how many of them are going to become threat? That's now the question of the day. We got attacks happening elsewhere. Let's just make sure Minerva's okay. Should be. It's pretty well fortified. Yeah. Vampire claws are running into our Tachyon, and yeah, all that's going to be fine. Okay. At Dagobah, there is almost 7.5 million scrap. We are gaining over 4,000 a second just from the scrap. Wow. I mean, I was hoping to get this down to like 200 AI progress, but there's no freaking way. I mean, I'd have to detonate a bunch of warheads, and yeah, frankly, my skills are not good enough to handle that yet. I'll have to learn how to do that eventually in future games. So now a bunch of it's going to escape. They destroyed Minerva? How? Doggone it, that's my advanced factory, you jerks. But, oh, stupid Plasma Siege Mark II, we almost got it. We ran out of Mark III grav turrets, so only have Mark II. Oh, we have Merciless kill. Okay, it looks like we're going to keep the factory, thankfully. Oh my goodness, but that thing is so close. What is it at? 6%? Gah. Anyway, and we're out of metal, so we're going to very slowly build... Okay, I'm going to very slowly build my way out of metal. And then I'm going to gradually build up here. I'm going to have some good threat cleaning to do. And then when I'm done with all of that, the one and only T is next on my agenda. And we did take out some of their strategic reserve, so at least that's a thing. We didn't lose anything big there, but at the same time only made moderate gains. But still, it's something. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Superterminal. And we are almost ready to attack the homeworlds. I will consider doing that next time after I get all of this mess cleaned up. But until then, thanks for watching. More AI War Fleet Command coming soon. and we'll see if our golems are ready for the next challenge.